Hi my astro viewers, my curious astro viewers. I'm Susie Cox and this video is what is an astrology chart. So what is an astrology chart? When you were being born, if someone could have gone outside and taken a picture of where the planets were in the sky, click, freeze framed them and put them down on paper, that's your astrology chart. I want to make sure that everyone has already watched my videos on planet, sign, and houses on YouTube because this video is going to be putting all of that together. And the chart that I'm going to be using as an example is from Anya. Anya is my manager, my producer, my sister from another lifetime, and she's given me permission to use her astrology chart. So let's take a look at her chart. What are we looking at here? Well, the Earth is in the very center. Here we have the Earth. And Anya was born in Taiwan. So she was looking at the sky from this kind of a view, right? All right. So looking at her astrology chart, we're looking at a picture of where the planets were in Taiwan when she was being born. And the planets were divided up into 12 houses. Houses are individual areas in your life. The first house is the self, the second house is my money, Anya's money, the third house is the mind, the fourth house is the upbringing, family, goes all the way around to the 12th house. And then you have the planets. So planets are archetypes. So the sun is the inner essence, my inner core, moon is my emotions, Venus is the female part of me, Mars is the male part of me. So all the planets have different archetypes, right? And they're in the signs. Signs are personalities. I'm a Gemini. Anya is a Libra. So there are 12 signs of the zodiac and 12 different personalities. So the astrology chart puts them all together. So let's take a look at a little astronomy here. So in the very center is the Earth. In the very center of everybody's chart is the Earth, right? We're here on Earth, so that's right in the middle. We're looking at the sky from the perspective of Earth, right? And we're looking at where the planets were, right? So here we have the planets and the signs and the houses. So the planets are individual archetypes, like the sun is my inner essence. The sign is the personality, and then it drops into the house or where it was when she was born, or when all of us were born. So looking at a little bit of astronomy here, the very center, the Earth is in the very center. That horizontal line with the arrow on the left-hand side, the arrow points to the eastern horizon. And everything rises in the east. Sun rises in the east, all the planets rise in the east, and the signs rise in the east too. Now, what are the signs of the zodiac? Thousands of years ago, astrologers divided the sky into 12 equal sections, and we named it Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, and so on. And so what happened there basically is a reference system around the Earth. So if we all want to point to one part of the sky, we call it the same name, and personality traits relating to the signs too. So what happened is when a person is born, the planets are rising and setting. So they're rising and setting, and then the baby's born, freeze frames the whole thing, and you end up with something called a rising sign. So the sign of the zodiac that was coming up above the horizon. My rising sign is Capricorn. Anya's rising sign is Leo. So that's the signs of the zodiac, and it freeze frames where all the planets were in the sky when she was born, right? So let's take a look at her chart. So, gee, what jumps out of her chart? She's got a party down there in her third house, right? Third house is the house of the mind. Anya's very, very bright. Very bright. That's an understatement. What I told her is that her mind is like a Ferrari. It needs to go really, really fast. Just relaxing or hanging out really doesn't work for her. She needs to take classes or do something, right? And so very, very active mind and fantastic chart, actually. So you take a look. First thing is, where does my eye get drawn? Well, in Anya's chart, it gets drawn down to the third house. She has a lot of planets down there, right? That was a big party that dominated her chart, absolutely. And so you take a look at those planets, what sign they're in and what house they're in, planet, sign, house. That's really the basis of astrological interpretation, planet, sign, house. And then you look at the geometry or the mandala in the sky. So this was not only where the planets were when she was born, when Anya was born, but how they geometrically angled towards each other. I've color-coded these angles so they're a little bit easier. They're a lot easier for us to read. Red lines and blue lines. Red lines challenges. Red lines our mission, our focus this lifetime. This is what I'm here to accomplish. Blue lines, what she's best at. Talents and gifts and destiny and things that come natural and easy for us. And so it's a symbiotic relationship. The red lines and the blue lines always connect with each other. So if we're struggling and we're really not doing our purpose in life, our red lines come out. I call them, they're hot. Red lines are hot. You don't want to have hot red lines. You want to have focused red lines. Your red lines are actually powerful when you're focusing them. And then the blue lines are talents and gifts and what we're best at. Our talents are blessings, our destiny. When you look at the overall picture of the chart, the red lines are your mission, the blue lines your destiny and what you're best at. When you're combining them both together, you're accomplishing your purpose in life. Now, what does astrology chart define? It defines your purpose in life. What are we here to do? The astrology chart shows that very, very specifically. Okay, so we're looking at a picture of where the planets were in the sky. The Earth is in the center. The geometry between the planets. The red lines are your homework. The blue lines, talents and gifts. And when you blend it all together, it defines your purpose in life. Okay, so that's an astrology chart. Okay, so my curious astro viewers, stay positive, keep curious, and I'll see you soon.
To see more of Susie, find her here on this channel, her webpage, susiecox.com, and on Facebook and Instagram at Susie Cox Astrology.